Last night, Elon Musk tapping the brakes, at least a little bit, on the company's new agreement with car rental giant Hertz. Phil LeBeau has the details. Phil, what's going on?
Well, Andrew, remember over the last week, and I think it was the beginning of last week, is when Mark Fields announced, he's the interim CEO at Hertz, he announced that they have a deal with Tesla to buy 100,000 Model 3s. And that news, along with some other news, you saw Tesla shares just explode. I think it's up something like 30% within the last week and a half. A ridiculous surge in shares of Tesla. And last night on Twitter, as many people do, somebody asked Elon Musk about the stock price and this acceleration relative to the news coming out last week. And he said, if any of this, meaning the stock price acceleration, is based on Hertz, I'd like to emphasize that no contract has been signed yet. Tesla has far more demand than production. Therefore, we will only sell cars to Hertz for the same margin as consumers. Hertz deal has zero effect on our economics. Let's be clear here. A little background when it comes to the auto rental business, when it comes to the vehicles they buy from auto manufacturers. You often hear people say fleet sales are ugly sales. There's a reason why. Because the automakers are selling fleet versions of vehicles, typically base models, maybe a few extras added onto the vehicle, but they're selling them in large numbers with a bit of a discount. It's not good for the margins of automakers. And this is one reason why you have, as you take a look at shares of Hertz, you have investors in Tesla saying, well, what did you do with these 100,000 vehicles that you agreed to sell to Hertz? Are you selling them at a discount? And Elon Musk has said, and this is not the first time, he has said, no, we are not giving Hertz a discount. So the wrinkle in all of this, guys, is him saying, hey, look, this deal has not been finalized yet. I think if you want to know my thoughts, they probably have an agreement in principle. Mark Fields went out with the announcement, and people have reacted by saying, well, is there a huge discount on the price of the Model 3? That prompted Elon Musk to come out last night and say, we haven't finalized this deal yet, and we're going to make sure that it's not bad for the margins at Tesla.
Hey, Phil, one of the reasons that Tesla investors were so excited about this, beyond maybe this margin issue right here, is the investment in infrastructure that a Hertz would have to make and the lock-in effect that I think that could ultimately create. Is that a real lock-in effect? I mean, there's a lot of investors who say that would be the case, but increasingly, at least my understanding is that a lot of these electric networks are going to ultimately be able to be integrated into all sorts of cars.
That is the expectation. So we're headed in that direction. As part of this agreement, when we talked with Mark Fields last week, he said, look, we are going to make sure that people who are renting a Tesla have availability or access to the supercharger network from Tesla, and we're also going to be adding charging stations at the rental facilities and where possible into other locations. So they are, at least initially, going to do whatever they can to make sure that if you rent a Tesla, you will have places to charge it up, and that you're not just sitting there saying, well, great, I got a Model 3, now where am I going to charge it? But over time, the expectation is you will be able to charge a Tesla at other sites and other vehicles. It will not be one of these where you are locked in exclusively only in that ecosystem.